Hi there, this is Patricia, Brandnow.asia. Welcome to this segment of Business Insights. Today I have with me Kevin Snook. Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, Kevin and I have been longtime LinkedIn friends, and I recently came across your profile just, I think, a month before Christmas. And something new on LinkedIn for Mr. Kevin Snook. So I thought, wow, it would be a great opportunity to bring him on board, talk a little bit about what he's been up to. So before we go into the new thing, which is his book, I want to give you a little bit of background. So could you introduce yourself, Kevin?
Yeah, sure. My name's Kevin Snook. I was formerly with Procter & Gamble, and now I'm the CEO and founder of a company called Sexagon. And I've been working on that for 10 years.
Wow. So tell us, how did you come up with the name Sexagon?
Yeah, so Sexagon, when you come from a big company and then you go to a smaller company, you want it to be very easy for people to find you. And so Sexagon was a unique name that was actually put together from the names of my 3 children. So I've got 3 kids, 3 teenagers, Saffron, Sage, and Saxon. And so it kind of, that came together that way.
All right. So 17 years with P&G. What made you decide to leave?
Well, it was like a 17-year apprenticeship. You know, I felt that over 8 different roles, I'd learned a lot, and the next step was, well, where do we go from here? And I wanted to spread my wings a little bit. I wanted to be able to take what I'd learned in P&G and be able to impact a lot more people. First of all, when I left P&G, I went to work as managing director for a big company in Asia. And then I moved on from that to start my own company 10 years ago.
Yeah, and then as of 2018, you wrote a book.
I wrote a book, that's
yes,
right.
So tell me about that book.
Yeah, so the book is called Make It Right. And it was really around how do we help people, at that time it was mainly in manufacturing companies, how do we help them to make it right within their organization? So make the products right, make the work right for people, and actually how do we take the business from where it is now into the future? And you know, there's 2 goals for every business. One of them is to grow, and the other one is to continually build profit. And I want to be able to help as many people do that as possible. And so getting that information out of my head from 30 years in manufacturing and leadership, and then get that down into the book. That was my way of kind of giving back and helping as many people as possible.
Yeah, is that the reason why your LinkedIn underneath your name is preventing CEOs from killing their teams?
Yeah, so the idea around, I've worked in 30 different countries and with a lot of different CEOs, and they have a very common issue, and that is that they always say, it's the people. Right? How do we just get the people to do what I expect them to do? And so there's this feeling, this frustration around what are people doing every day, and it builds up to this extent, like you know. The flip side of that is that people feel exactly the same way about the leadership team as well. It's like, why aren't the leaders supporting us the way that we want, that we want them to? Why is it we're not getting the help and support that's necessary? And so this idea of each group having a go at each other, looking to sort of kill is a bit of an exaggeration, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that's kind of how do we make that work better?
Yeah, and at the end of the day, how does that hurt the company?
Well, it always hurts the company. One of the big measures of how people are most effective in a company is productivity. So how much are we making, or how much return are we getting per person in the organization? And those productivity numbers around the world are incredibly low. The engagement of people and the enrollment of people in the results of the business is always seemed to be incredibly low, and that's common across different countries. And so yeah, it's a major issue. When we get people working on the things that they love and working most effectively, then the results of the business just exponentially get better.
In your book, you talk about align. There's a whole lot of align in there. So and then you shared a little bit before this session that it actually is an acronym for something. So can you take us through that?
Yeah, so the align process, as I was writing the book, we realized that we were using the word align a lot during that, align and alignment a lot during the book. And then the editor suggested that would be a great acronym for the 5 steps that we go through in the book to take businesses from where they are now to where they dream of being in the future. And that align process, ALIGN, the first step of that is to aim from the heart. That means that we need to have a very clear and compelling vision of where we want to go as a business, and that needs to be inspirational to the leader themselves, so that they can then inspire their teams in order to be able to move in that direction. So that's the aim from the heart. The L in the align process is lead with the front line. And that means we want to be able to have everybody involved in the action planning for that business, so that they feel a real sense of ownership as we start to put that plan together and put it into practice. The I is inspire with information. And as you go on a journey, you need to know whether you're making the progress that you expect to make or not. And so having the right metrics in place, having the right milestones is very important to know that yes, this is where we're going, and we're making progress in the right direction. So I is inspire with information. The G is give help and support. And I see that there's 2 main roles of a leader in a business. That is to set the very clear direction, this is where we want to go, and then to give the help and support for everybody to be able to get there together. And quite often in organizations, there's everybody kind of knows where we want to go, and they're doing their best every day, but they don't feel like they've got the support that they need to really do it in the most effective way. So that's the second role of a leader, give help and support. And then the last one, N, is nurture with feedback and recognition. And nurturing the organization, as I said, I've worked in a lot of different companies, and I've never had an employee anywhere say to me, I'm getting too much recognition. Right? I feel like I'm being seen too much. And so the key here is to make sure that the CEO, and then all the way down through the organization, the leaders know how to recognize people in a way that feels comfortable, and also drives that metric that we want, which is for people to be able to do the best they can do every day.
Oh, excellent. Okay. Can you give us a case study? We talked a little bit earlier. So share with us that case study of how did you guys start? What was like the top 3 challenges that you had to overcome?
Okay. So the case study is from a company I'm working with in Korea. They're an $800 million company, so they're a big group, about 1,000 people working in the company. And they had an issue. They're a manufacturing company, but they also have a marketing division because they make their own products. And initially the issue they had was on the manufacturing floor, getting the efficiency of the equipment to work well and the productivity of the teams. And so they asked me if I could help with that. And as we started digging in to find the root cause, it's a little bit like, imagine you have your car, you buy a new car, and the car itself is beautifully aligned. The engineering is very good there. But then as you go through the process of driving that car every day, it gets a little bit dirty, the oil wears out a little bit, the bearings start to get worn, and you need to make sure that that's continually maintained and aligned at the best possible conditions for that to work. And so what I was finding is that that's a people process. We need the people to be doing the right thing every day to keep that equipment well aligned. And in order to get the people well aligned and to do that process, then we need to make sure that the leadership and the frontline employees are very closely aligned as well. So as we started doing that, we got the equipment much better aligned. The manufacturing department results started to exponentially get better. And then they asked us if we could take a look at the marketing department and sales, because what happens is, especially during times of initiatives, it's a transition point. You know, you're in normal daily running, you can get into a position where you're very comfortable, but then if you have a new initiative or a new project that's happening, it's a lot more challenging to keep the alignment going. You've got more departments involved in that, and each one is looking for the other department to make a change. And so whenever change happens, that's when you get a lot more challenges. And so at that point, we wanted to make sure that the production department was very closely aligned with the marketing and sales department, so that initiative could be done very smoothly in what I like to see as a flow process. You know, everybody individually is in flow, but the organization itself kind of flows well together.
And what were some of the end results?
So after, it's always funny when you first move into a company, those first 3 months, the teams are generally waiting for the person to just disappear, right?
So they were waiting for you to
waiting
disappear.
for me to disappear.
Okay.
So you're asking a lot of questions, you're getting deep into their details, you're challenging the things that are happening every day, and it's kind of like, can I outlast this guy? You know, if I just stay here long enough, and then maybe he'll disappear. But then when they realize that you've got the support of the leadership team, that you're going to be there for a good period of time, then they tend to buy into the process, and you start to see results happening really quickly. Within the first 3 months, we saw significant changes in the results. We always set what I call $1 million goals. We want to be able to get $1 million savings, you know, each year for the business, in the multiples of $1 million savings. And by the end of that first year, we'd achieved $1 million, and people started coming to me with ideas of what the $1 million savings could be for the next year. And so that's fun. That's when you know things are working properly and the culture is starting to change, because rather than walking into a room and everybody fleeing for cover, people start coming to you with ideas and goals. And that's very similar if you're the leader of a department. You know, people are trying to avoid you as a leader, then you're sucking as a leader, right? What you want to be able to do is change that culture so that when you walk into the room, people are pulled towards you because they need your help and support, and that's your key role with it.
Right, and they know they can count on you.
And they know they can count on you, they know they can trust you. You've built up that sense of alignment between you and the team, so that you're all working on the same goals, and you're really just helping, supporting each other to get there.
Yeah, that's great. So tell us, what's in store for you in 2020?
Yeah, so we're continuing to try to influence as many people as we can. You know, we're very passionate about the work that we do, and we're already working in a number of different countries. We're looking to expand the number of countries that we're working in. We're also looking to bring more people into Thailand to learn this process in our leadership academy. We have the Align Leadership Academy. So we're looking for more people to come and learn the process and get it rolled out into their organizations, because I get frustrated with organizations that are not reaching their potential. It's so frustrating for the individuals when they're going home at the end of the day and they don't feel like their day has been fulfilling, or they're not looking forward to coming to work the next day. We need to turn that around and make sure that people really feel joyful and fulfilled in their work and are super excited about what's coming next. And so I want to see as many companies doing that as possible.
Excellent. All right, so tell everybody where they can find your book.
Yeah, so the book is called Make It Right. It's an Amazon bestseller, so you can find it on Amazon, you can find it on any of the book selling sites. And it's available in Kindle version and in the hard copy book. If you send me a message, kevin@makeitrightbook.com, then I will send you a free PDF of the book anyway, so you don't even need to go buy the book. Key for me
very
is that,
nice.
Oh, thank you. The key for me is that as many people as possible are understanding that they can make a difference in their organizations. And there is an easy step-by-step process that we can, or simple, should I say, step-by-step process that we can follow to get there.
All right, so I guess this is a Happy New Year gift then.
Thank you very much. Yes, that's exactly what we'll do.
All right, so Happy New Year. So thank you again, Kevin, for coming on and giving the gift to everybody.
It's been a great pleasure.
All right, สวัสดีค่ะ If we may be of service to you or someone you know, please reach out to us. Thank you and have a great day.